So today I'm going to give you my review. Let's talk a little bit about Las Flores El Salvador trip here. It's a pretty cool little area. You know, when we first arrived to El Salvador, I noticed how clean it was actually driving through all the town. There's no trash on the side of the road. It was super clean. It was nice having a driver take us all the way to our resort. Surf resort is very nice, very well kept. My buddy did say that it's not quite the same as what it used to be. You can tell it's getting a little bit, older in years, and it does need a little bit of upkeep, but overall it's very good. As far as a vacation goes, this is not a vacation that I would do again. It's actually not a vacation that I would recommend. Who I would recommend this for is if you're a surfer and you want just surfing, it can be really good. The hotel that we stayed in, Las Flores Surf Resort, it is definitely a more expensive place to stay. All your meals are included. They do a very good job. The meals are kind of There was only one meal that I felt was really like a really good meal. All the other ones were so-so. My preference, especially kind of looking at some of the other ones, right on the point of Las Flores, there's a different hotel. It's less than half the price. It's $160 a night. The place that we were staying in was, I think, $450 a night. Again, meals were included, and desserts and drinks and not alcoholic drinks. I think beer was included. You could have like 3 sodas a day or something like that. Not that we're drinking them, but here's some of my things with this. There's not a whole lot to do here. I don't know about the rest of El Salvador, but it does seem like there's not a lot to do here. The way that the days worked out is I was surfing 2 times per day. So we would have a morning surf session. We'd get up at 5, maybe 6. We'd surf for a few hours and then we'd come in, we'd have breakfast. And at this point, it was probably somewhere around like 9, maybe 10 after this. And then we just waited, really. We'd kind of relax, maybe take a nap. The wind would pick up probably around 11. It'd get pretty windy. Then we'd have lunch and then we'd wait around more, around 3-ish, somewhere between 3 to 4. The wind might die down a little bit again. And we'd go out for another session and we'd go till 6 and then we'd have dinner. And then again, that was it. And then we wait. FIFA World Cup was going on at the time and we could not get the TV in the rooms to work. So that was a little bit frustrating. We'd have to go down into the lobby and watch. So that was a little bit frustrating. Another thing that's very frustrating is at best, I'm an intermediate surfer, right? And I grew up in California, and not that it's not crowded there, it is. I've been to Costa Rica, Hawaii, kind of surf, and we surf on vacation, not a vacation for surf. And the problem that I have with this Las Flores, Punta Mango area is it's a point break. And if you have 20, 30 people out there, even though 20, 30 people, it's not a ton on a point break, it's a lot. So unless you're, top of the food chain here, you're gonna have a really hard time finding waves. I got a decent amount of waves. I was happy with what I got and how I did. It was fun, but for how many hotels and hostels and just surf resorts there are in this area, a super competitive wave as well. So, and the paddle out is crazy long. It's probably a good 200 yards out there, which, I recommend that you train a lot before you come here. Would I come here again? I would not come here again. I come to the conclusion that I want to surf on my vacations. I don't want to go on a surf vacation. I like doing stuff in between, and there's not a whole lot to do here. The one thing that we did do, my son and I, we rented some little GoPed motorcycles, which I'll put the link down. If you do come here, I highly recommend that you do this. And I would actually recommend rent them for the full week. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck where you're at. Right? You can take a shuttle. The shuttle from the airport to here, it was 2.5 hours. So it's not a short drive. It's quite a long drive. And it'd be nice to have some way to get around. For one day, it was $20. For a whole week, it's $100. So it's super cheap to rent a motorcycle, or not even a motorcycle. It's a little moped thing. It's a 150. They're automatic. They delivered them. They picked them up. I highly recommend doing that. kind of get around. We rode for about 3 hours. We started in Las Flores. We went up to Punta, and then we went down to, I think it is, in between surf sessions. Not that there was a ton to go do and see, but you could go into the little town, riding around the area here. We did like a 3-hour route. Again, it was super clean. I had no reason to believe or feel that I was unsafe. The only thing that I would say that was like just a little bit unnerving was when we were riding through certain towns, you see these houses that are, I mean, they have like 10 and 12-foot walls with barbed wire all across the top. It almost looks like a prison they'd use to like, you know, like a miniature prison they'd use to keep somebody in, but they're using that to keep people out. And granted, that was from, you know, years ago before it was cleaned up, but it was just a little bit weird to see that. But overall, it was super safe. We had no issues. There's not a lot of people on the roads. From what I've been told, we haven't been into town on the weekends, but it does appear as though that it gets really crowded on the weekends from locals. And when we were driving down the beach, there had to have been 50 restaurants all down the beach in El Cuco, which is kind of neat to see. I would actually have liked to eat there, but all of our food was included. So, you know, kind of hard to spend money on that. And actually at the very end of that strip, we did find a little restaurant on our ride, and we tried to order a quesadilla with corn tortillas because we can't do gluten. And yeah, there was some miscommunication. We did not get that. It came on a big flour tortilla. So we ate the middle out of it, and that was actually the best food that we had the entire time. Not to say the food at the resort wasn't good, but it was just interesting that that was the best food that we had. We did have a good time. It was nice. I would not do it again unless you want a completely dedicated surf trip, and that's really all you want to do. Then this is a great place to come. We did do the boat ride to Mango, which was cool. We actually lucked out, and it was a very uncrowded day on that day for whatever reason. And that was some of the best and most waves that I've gotten here. But I don't like battling for waves. Looking out right now, you know, you have all the surfers and they're in like just a little group near that point break. And there's probably got to be 30, 40 people out right now. And again, unless you're, I don't know, Mick Fanning and you're, you know, at the very point of that. I don't know if it's surfer culture or what, but there was definitely a few situations where like some of the people, I don't know, locals or the really good people, it kind of seems like, man, I swear they're really trying to hit me. I'm just trying to paddle out, get under this wave, duck dive, get out of their way. They're coming down the line on this wave, and I swear they're trying to hit me. And actually was hit a couple times. One of them was a bodyboarder lady. I don't know what she said. Another one was an accident. The guy, he did apologize. He was Italian or something like that. But that's kind of really about it here. It's very rare that after a vacation, I'm like, I want to be home. And this is definitely one of those situations where I'm ready to be home. I miss my wife. She's my best friend. And, you know, maybe it would have been better if she was here. I can tell after maybe the 4th day, me personally, I think the 4th day, like that was all I needed. I think my son, he was probably like 3 days, like, okay, I'm done. I don't know if he's totally like me as far as, you know, kind of busybody wanting to do adventures, but he definitely does not want to sit around all day in between surf sessions. That's just not our style. So I would say that's kind of it on the review here. I don't know what else to say. Glad to be going home. It's a beautiful area, not a lot to do. People are very friendly. The food prices are not as cheap as what I thought they would be, which was kind of surprising, but I don't know if that's just the food. I'm sure everything else is a lot cheaper. And that's really about it for now. And if you can see it up there, if you can see it right there, somewhere out here, there's a ginormous group of people out there.